What's up guys, Ian Sandusky from Let's Machine, back here again for Practical Machinist. Today on Shop Talk, we're going to be talking about the 80-20 rule and how it pertains to you as a machining business. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so today on Shop Talk, we're going to be talking about the 80-20 rule. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this rule before, but if you haven't, I didn't come up with this. This is a pretty well-known thing, but it's something I find that is very applicable as a machining business, and something I find you should definitely keep in mind because it has served me well over the years and has really bit me in the butt over the times where I have kind of let it slide. So the 80-20 rule states this: 80% of your profit as a business is going to come from 20% of your customer base. Conversely, 80% of your problems and headaches are going to come from 20% of your customer base. What's important to realize is that those 20% are almost never the same. So the same 20% that's giving you good profits and are a joy to work with and all that good stuff are almost never the same 20% that lose you money, create headaches, want things yesterday, etc. So the allegory I like to reference is this, and this is from Tim Ferriss, who's one of my favorite authors. But he says, to explain this rule, that a African lion living on the savannah can theoretically survive by eating mice. So he can spend his whole day going out catching mice, and he's going to get nutrition from those. The problem is that at the end of the day, that lion's probably going to burn a lot more energy going out and hunting down all those individual little mice than he's going to get from eating those mice. His time would be a lot better served conserving that energy and going after one big thing like a gazelle or whatever lions eat. But the point is this: he can spend all his time and still get profits or inputs off little things, but it's not going to have the same effect as going after something bigger. And the reason this relates to machining is that without knowing it, you can get yourself into the same trap really easily as a business. Personally, I've had periods in our business where I've ended up spending a lot of time going after new business, and I've gone and tried to chase down jobs where they may not really have been a good fit. Maybe they're a plant where they just need a couple things repaired. Maybe they're a business that does a little bit of machining work that they need done, but in general, they do stuff that's kind of outside the realm of what we do. I can spend days and days quoting those jobs out, trying to make a good fit where there probably isn't one, going and chasing all this little work. And it's not that every customer that comes through here isn't important, because they are. You always have to treat each job as it comes in as if it could turn into something huge, because you never know. I've had jobs come out as a little diet to come in to be repaired, and it's turned into a years-long relationship that's been very profitable. But if I see that that relationship is kind of turning into something where it's more headache than it's worth, I need to be able to recognize that, because the one thing that we have in very finite supply as a machining business is time. We're in the business of selling our time to our customers, be it spindle time, be it engineering time, be it quoting time. Quoting isn't free. We don't charge people for it, but it's not free. It takes your time. So being able to identify that a job or a business or a potential customer is not going to fall into the category where you're going to make good money off it, you should be able to identify that fairly quickly. And the faster you can identify that, the better you're going to be. Once that's identified, I'm not saying you should drop them as a customer or give them a bad experience or whatever it may be, but there is such thing as a customer that will end up taking more from you than they end up giving. Maybe it's a business where they don't really understand manufacturing and they need their hand held a lot more, and you didn't really plan to bill for that. You give them a bill for that kind of job, for that kind of work, for the engineering, for the tool up, for the design. They weren't expecting it, maybe you didn't communicate it properly, and all of a sudden it's a headache, and now you gotta play please pay me, yada yada yada. There's another video on that here, but we'll leave that to that video. You can get yourself snared up in these jobs very, very quickly, get yourself in over your head, and end up wasting a lot of time. Which brings me to that other 20%. So if they don't fall in the 20% that's gonna cause you is gonna bring you lots of profit and a good job, they can fall into that other 20%. And that's 20% to give you a lot of headaches. We've all had these kind of customers. Typically, we try to keep them as customers for as little period as possible, but at the end of the day, you will have 20% of your customers that give you the most headaches. At that point, once they've been identified, you have to figure out whether they are a part of the 20% that also gives you the money, because sometimes, it rarely crosses over that way, but sometimes that 20% that causes you headaches, some of them can be some of your best customers. You know, I've had customers over the years that they pay their bills on time, they order lots per year, but it seems like it's always a headache to redo their drawings, or you know, they're always changing things, etc., etc. They may not be the easiest customer to work with, and they may cause stress on my end, but that investment is worth it because it pays off. If the customer doesn't fall into that and they just kind of end up being a dog on your business, you do have to know when enough is enough. And firing a customer is probably one of the most scary and uncomfortable things you have to do, because it's literally turning away money. But at the end of the day, if a company or a customer is constantly causing you headaches, you know, they always want price reductions even though you're kind of at your minimum. They're always moving up their dates when you tell them a firm timeline. They're changing things. Their expectations change after they get the parts. That happens. Being able to identify that and cut it off is going to save you money in the long run. We've all had jobs that have ended up turning from very profitable to very draining on your bottom line because one thing after another comes up. Being able to identify that and cut it off and stop the bleeding will end up helping you in the long run. And I know it's scary to say to somebody, we don't want you as a customer anymore. But at the end of the day, if you're spending 80% of your time chasing up 20% of that money, you're gonna go in the hole. So anyways, guys, this has been a little bit of a quick one today, but keeping the 80-20 rule in mind, I find is gonna help you guys no matter where you are in the business chain, whether you're an owner or you're a guy on the floor, you know, whether you can identify that 20% of your jobs are taking 80% of your time, and then you can go to your supervisor or your boss and say, listen, this is where we're losing time. This is where we're burning money. This is where we need to focus on bringing this kind of process up. No matter where you are, it's gonna help you. So try to keep that in mind this week as you guys go ahead. In the comments below, I wanna know what you guys think about this. Some people have found this opinion controversial in the past. They say, you know, every customer is a good customer. And you know, it's up for debate, and I'd love to hear what you guys think, okay? Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you wanna see more videos, make sure you like and subscribe below. Thank you very much, you have a great day.